Hello, my name is Pat Race, and I'm inviting you to the Climate Stick for Climate Action project in Indiegogo. For about 5 years, I've been giving presentations on the climate problem, and recently I developed the Climate Stick as a way to get certain ideas across, and it seems to work with people. We also have a pendant that we are going to take 20,000 versions of to New York City and distribute at the People's Climate March on September 21st. The Climate Stick for Climate Action project needs $22,000 so that we can produce the Climate Stick pendants that will be distributed in New York City on September 21st. Additional funds will allow us to bring additional pendants to New York City and distribute them. When you select a perk and make your donation, you'll be funding the production of those 20,000 Climate Stick pendants and the street team that will be assembled to distribute these to the marchers in the People's Climate March on Sunday, September 21st. Please consider what we have to say and support us to the extent it's possible for you to do so. What follows is a description of why the Climate Stick is a good teaching tool and examples of people using it.
The Climate Stick can be big like this to use in auditoriums, or small like this to fit in your purse, or even smaller like this to wear as cute but informative jewelry around your neck.
The Climate Stick is a useful tool when you want to talk about climate change. The green represents the last 11,000 years, up into about 1804, which is around the time when we reached 1 billion people on the planet. At this time, humans were developing agriculture, and the greenhouse effect was good because the CO2 in the air was only about 275 parts per million, and it kept the temperature at about 55 degrees, and it was really good for the agricultural development.
The black represents the additional CO2 that has been added into our atmosphere by humans burning coal, oil, and natural gas. The average Earth temperature has increased about 1.5 degrees Fahrenheit because of this increase in CO2. Within the black section is the yellow stripe showing the maximum amount of CO2 that can be in our atmosphere, 350 parts per million. We passed this line in 1988. We are currently here, 2014, at 400 parts per million. And since 1988, we have had more floods, hurricanes, tsunamis, and ultimately more natural disasters. Between the black and the yellow symbolizes where we are now, 2014. This is the past, and this is the future. As you can see, we are going down a very dangerous road.
The yellow represents the additional 565 gigatons of additional carbon dioxide that can be released in the environment before surface temperatures increase by 3.6 degrees Fahrenheit. At this temperature, many of the needs of the 7 to 9 billion people on this planet will struggle to be met. As we move forward in time, people will have a harder and harder time feeding themselves.
So we're in this region of the climate stick where atmospheric levels of CO2 are increasing. And this is going to have a dramatic effect on agriculture in 3 different ways. And you take all these factors and add them together, which can mean food shortage, distribution problems, wars, famine. Eventually, there's going to be not enough food to feed all the people on the earth, and that's going to create some very big problems.
The yellow represents 25% of what we can afford to burn in order to still have crops. The red is 4 times as much, and we can afford to burn more than that.
They want to burn 4 times as much as the climate can take. Does that make any sense?
Does this make any sense?
What does make sense is to use the climate stick to discuss the various elements of our problem and help move people to a place where we stop burning carbon. There are 3 things that you can do to help with the Climate Stick for Climate Action project. First, you can choose your perk and donate. Second, you can get your friends and neighbors to do the same thing. And third, you can use the Climate Stick in all its various forms to educate about the issue so that we can move to a point where we have a mass movement to get carbon out of our energy production. Hopefully someday I'll run into you and you'll have a Climate Stick pendant, and you'll be able to recognize me as another person who supports your efforts to bring us to a world that's free from the burning of carbon.